Hi, everyone. Welcome to episode 3 of Expert Event Management. I'm so excited to have my two guests today. First up is Carline Beaubrun. Carline is a seasoned event professional. She's the owner and founder of Events by Carline. She also is the host of a talk show called Event Pros Let's Talk. And when she's not doing that, she's running a nonprofit charity called Pajamas and a Purpose. So I'm super excited to have Carline here today. And also with us is Nathaniel Hill. He is the president and owner of Broadway Plus, which is a VIP experience created by Nathaniel, where you get to meet and greet Broadway stars, do some backstage VIP walkthroughs and all kinds of exciting things. So we're going to talk to both of them and just hear what's going on. So Carline, I'm going to start with you. Why don't you tell us a little bit about what you're doing, since it seems like you're very busy.
Yes, my life is very exciting. Never a dull moment. Definitely an adventure every day, doing so many different things. I love each and every single passion that I've been able to implement into a profession. So I feel very blessed and lucky to be able to do what I love to do every day and get up and just have a good time doing it. So so I own multiple businesses, two primarily within the events industry. Also own a hair salon, which is like another baby of mine, and also the founder of a nonprofit organization. And it's been very interesting with, times changing right now with what they are, and, pivoting so many different platforms that I have and trying to make things work. So, but we're making it happen. We're doing, amazing things. My team and I have been able to pivot really quickly. So we're doing some really amazing things that I can't wait to share with you all.
Exciting. And Nathaniel, tell us some more about Broadway Plus.
Sure. So I started Broadway Plus 4 years ago, and until March 12th, our core product was a backstage tour at a Broadway show hosted by a cast member from that show. That was the original idea. And then from that, I was able to build the company into doing events, concerts with Broadway stars, travel packages and experiences, dinners with casts, lessons for your kids with cast members, and all sorts of things. So it was really fun to sort of take one idea and start focused on that, and then expand the company to do whatever our clients were looking for. And so now we've put that online, and I reached out to some of my closest talent. I said, are you interested in trying to do this virtually? They said yes. And it's really taken off. And it's cool because, whereas before I had to wait for people to be in New York, now I can reach anyone in the world with my product.
It's really opening things up to be able to, you're no longer confined to one city anymore. So that's actually something I've been seeing too, which is exciting. So Carline, I know you are a designer and you transform spaces to make people's dreams, come to life. So now that we're not actually in venues anymore, how are you able to do that for your clients?
Yeah, so we've pivoted onto the virtual platform, which a lot of my colleagues, unfortunately, were not in that space just yet. And a lot of us were not ready for this. I've always seen and knew that we were moving towards this direction anyways. It's just we were moving at a very slower pace and, trying to, just emerge that platform. And so it's definitely with this whole pandemic happening through it in a much faster pace. And so it's been very interesting. But yeah, we were able to pivot within the first 2 weeks. We were doing a lot of virtual things anyway, on a corporate level. It's just the dynamics of it changed to now a social events platform as well, where we're able to offer, certain creativity to our social event clients. And so it just took a lot of educating. And, for those who were not familiar with what can be done on the platform, if you're telling someone, oh, we can have a virtual baby shower, they're looking at you like, what are you talking about? But, we were able to do it. We really had to, think outside the box, and it definitely helped the communication and the trust that I built with these, you know, the relationships that I've had with my clients for many years, and just them entrusting me with their events. So that definitely helped with, you know, them trusting that we can do this, you know, don't worry, we don't have to cancel, we don't have to postpone. A lot of the logistics of the major events had to be postponed. And then when we were, you know, coming to the point where, okay, where these months are approaching now. And then it was also, you know, on top of that, just being able to say, okay, well, we have X, Y, and Z events already planned for this season. And now we're postponing, you know, months before onto this, you know, these new months. And so it just became very overwhelming. So now we had to go back to the drawing board and see, you know, who else can we get to turn to a virtual platform that we're comfortable with it now, knowing that, yeah, this is not going anywhere. This is not moving anytime soon. People are looking forward to, you know, hopefully being able to postpone April events, March events to June, July, and August, and that's just not happening, obviously. So, you know, just again, just talking to our clients, being very creative, thinking outside the box, being able to offer them an experience where they can still feel together. And that's very big with the whole design process, because, you know, being in person is there's nothing that can replace that. And when you're doing it virtually, you don't get to touch, feel, hug people, you know, and see your family members. Some of them you haven't seen in months because of the pandemic. So, you know, creating that experience where they still feel together, where they still feel as if they can, you know, do things together. We've done even drive-by birthday parties where everybody gets in their cars and do the, you know, parade, and we kind of help them.
Love that. Yeah.
We've designed virtual backgrounds where everyone can sit, you know, and, you know, have the similar background. We've delivered, you know, VIP packages. So it was just a matter of taking, you know, an event from restructuring it basically, and just kind of creating a whole new platform for it and giving more creative ideas. So.
Right. So you're still designing just in a different way now and coming up with new creative ways to do it. So Nathaniel, I absolutely love what Broadway Plus does. I think it's such a great idea. So now that Broadway is shut down, I think until February, what are some of the things, you know, that you're doing to kind of continue that same element of experience, but now in the digital world?
Yeah, so we've been able to, we started with 3 product ideas, and now we're probably up to 6 or 7. You know, we do a lot of one-on-one things. So we'll do half-hour meet and greets, Zoom meetings for a fan to meet a Broadway star that they follow. We can have Broadway stars make short videos to celebrate someone's birthday or graduation. And then what we also offer, you know, a lot of our stars like to offer lessons. So we have people taking voice lessons sometimes every week. With a star that they've always admired and followed. So those were the 3 that we started with. And then I found, especially as we turned the corner into late April, a lot of my event clients, like Carline mentioned, accepted that there was no more waiting and it was time to book things.
Yeah.
So in terms of events, we've been doing a lot of Q&As where we'll take 2 cast members from the same show, often Hamilton, and we will have them on a Zoom. We'll have a trained moderator on our side. And then I also noticed about a month ago that a lot of the event clients started wanting like virtual concerts and more, you know, like Carline was mentioning, more comprehensive events where sometimes the planner will send food to the participant's house or a gift. I actually have never heard of the idea of all having the same virtual background, but I love that. I might steal that.
You can.
So now we've been building out, you know, talking to talent about how is your singing on camera going to work? Are you comfortable? Some of them, thankfully, you know, are recording artists and have a good setup in their apartment. So some are able to do like virtual concerts, which has been fun and more involved of an event planning scheme.
Yeah, I love that idea. And I think it is great that we're sharing these new ways of doing things, because you can't think of everything on your own. Like you were just saying, the virtual backgrounds. I love that idea. And a comedian gave me an idea yesterday. We were trying to figure out how to prompt them when their time is up so they don't have to look at a clock and watch the clock. And he's like, well, you could just slightly change your virtual background. He goes, because if we see that, then we know it's like a 2-minute.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's so great. Who knew, you know? So, I mean, I think it's just stuff like that, sharing ideas to like help each other, especially now, is like super important because the struggle is real. And it's like, I feel like some of us, you know, thankfully, and we're all so grateful that we are now coming out of what just, you know, the pandemic, and we're kind of getting things off the ground again. But we all know that this is also going to change again as the summer ends, because now things are starting to open and we're going to see like, what is that like now that things are opening? Like how many people can you actually put in a venue? And then what do you do with everybody else? So I wanted to hear if you guys had any ideas around that. Have you been getting requests for like, because we can expand now to other cities and I do stuff all over. So it's sort of like, okay, so this venue can host 100, they're allowed 50. Well, what do you do with the rest of the company? You know, are we going to then live stream it out? You know, so Carline, what have you been seeing, and, you know, what have your clients been asking for?
Yeah, so I kind of thought, you know, from the very beginning, looking at just the way that things were moving along, how they were going from, you know, starting from the top 500 down to 250, down to, you know, 100. So I kind of expected that it would be in the reverse as well, because we service our clients internationally. So we are able to expand in other areas. We were affected in, you know, multiple ways as well because of that, because we weren't able to do a lot of our destination events that we had planned for the year. So now it's kind of like working in the reverse and seeing, you know, what is available right now and what can be done. How can we extend our services to other areas that our clients are willing to travel to? And then, you know, it also comes with just safety, you know, just making sure that our guests feel safe when they come to these events, and you know, taking precautionary steps as far as, if you know, if the room can only hold 100, then yes, you know, right now we don't even have those regulations yet, you know, to say these are the guides, but, you know, just knowing from experience and knowing, you know, what the event industry is all about and how we do things, we're able to say, okay, well, yeah, we're going to cut it down to X, Y, and Z amount of numbers, and, you know, position the room in a way where it's centrally flowing ventilation and all that stuff is happening within the space, so we can keep things safe and so it is a lot of logistical planning when it comes to all of that. But yes, again, safety for us is primary in everything that we're doing. And so if we have to, you know, again, using the virtual platforms that we're now accustomed to, that's something I think anyway, just generally, is going to be an arm to how we, you know, do events now, because you can now, you know, reach multiple areas within the same space. You can reach multiple people more so than, you know, having 100 people in your space. Now you can have 600 who can just join virtually and just ticket those prices very differently. So, you know, it depends on what you're doing and how you want to expand on that, but there's so many different options available. But yeah, I think number one for us is safety for sure, and then building from there to see, you know, how we can build events in a more comfortable way now and safe.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to get interesting, you know, as time goes on for the rest of the year, to see how everything plays out. And, you know, we'll just have to adapt, you know, as we've been, and, you know, just kind of strive forward. You know, obstacles are meant to be overcome.
Yes,
and our
absolutely.
industry has seen a lot of them.
Yeah. So, and we grow. From every obstacle, we grow in so many ways. So, you know, I know that, you know, there's so many things that we're learning from this experience, and I hope everyone is taking it in, because there's a lot of lessons to be learned from so many different avenues with what's going on right now. So.
Agreed. There is a lot, you know, and I think one of the most important things that I'm seeing is to really listen to people. And that's something internally that I've made a mental note for myself, and not just like in our business. I feel like we're good listeners anyway, because we're trying to make someone's vision come to life. But just in general, like just anyone, you know, you're talking to that, you know, has something they care about, you know, sometimes we just kind of glaze over things, you know, and now it's just really about, I feel, listening to one another more. I want to hear more about your nonprofit, Pajamas and a Purpose.
Yeah, sure. So Pajamas and a Purpose is one of my babies. I started Pajamas and a Purpose back in 2008. It was just really an event, a pajama party event. I was going through a very traumatic experience of life, just life altering changes. Going through a divorce. I had 3 young kids, and it was just a very, coming out of a domestic violence situation. So it was a lot going on that time period. And I had just launched my new business also around that time, and 6 months later, the market crashed. So it was just like a tornado whirlwind of just craziness happening in my life. And so it was my birthday, and this all happened like around January, March, April was my birthday in April. And my friends, my family was just like, Carline, you got to do something. Because at that time, I was always planning events for other people. And I took my passion for planning events, and that's when I had launched the business and then lost it when the market crashed. So it was just like, Carline, you got to do something. At that point, I didn't want to do anything with events. I just felt like, my heart just got ripped out of my chest, and on top of everything else that was going on. So, and then, they were very encouraging, do something. I was like, listen, just put your pajamas on and come over, and that's it. Like, we'll just whatever. And so they did. And it was just about 10 of us, my sisters included, a few friends of mine. And we had the best of time. It was exactly what I needed. Very therapeutic, just having my girls there and just us having a good time. And just, I forgot what I was going through for those few hours, And so then it became like a passion of mine to take that and, do it again next year. And so it just kept building, and it gave me something to look forward to as I was going through my whirlwind of crazy. My divorce took 11 years to settle.
Wow.
Yeah, so it was just like every year, it just gave me an aspiration to keep building on that event, because it just gave me something to look forward to that I forgot what was going on around me.
I'm so sorry you went through that. That's
Congratulations. That's really incredible.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Out of the darkness comes the light,
Absolutely.
right? I mean,
Absolutely.
to come out of that and be able to create something, and now you're helping others, that's, really commendable. So
Thank you.
I'm so happy for you.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
And I love the organization. And if, I'd love to participate, we'll talk about that.
Yes, please. Thank you.
And so I wanted to bring in our exciting celebrity guest.
Hi.
Well, thank you so much for joining us last minute.
Oh my gosh, you're so welcome.
I so appreciate it. And for those of you watching, this is Caroline Bowman, the current Elsa on Broadway for Frozen.
National tour, yeah.
Actually, the national
tour. Yeah, that is amazing. And by the way, I love that movie. And I cry every time I watch it. So how have you been? How are things going with, the current situation, and how are you doing with everything?
Good. Well, there's a lot of current situations, as we know. So I'm finally with my family. On a personal level, I'm finally with my family. My husband and I, he's also on the Frozen tour with me. He plays Prince Hans.
Yeah.
So
love a good prince.
The not so good prince, right? So he and I were in Portland when all this began, and then we slowly made our way back because we were driving the tour. So we were in Portland trying to decide what to do when all this happened, and then once we realized it was going to be longer than we thought, because none of us obviously knew what to do, we decided to drive back to the East Coast, which is where I'm from. And then we quarantined, and we're trying to do it all,
At least
on top of all that, Caroline's been very busy with Broadway Plus meet and greets and lessons and Q&A. So we're very grateful.
Yeah, I've been grateful for that. It's been a really nice way to connect with the community and continue teaching with kids, and it's so nice to have that program curated. It's been wonderful. So I've been really grateful.
I love that.
Nathaniel.
Yeah, I love it. And I'm hoping that we will be working together soon. I have a client that really wants to do a sing-along.
Fun.
So through Nathaniel, we've been working on that. So I'm hoping that comes to fruition very soon. I think it is. It's such a great dynamic to be able now to kind of produce the same to what we were all doing before. Just the platform has changed, right? Like the effort, the excitement, and everything else is still the same. I actually got more fired up, you know, creating these. Like I felt like I was kind of in a lull, you know, doing the same thing and doing the same thing. And then it's like this big challenge comes, you know, and you're kind of forced, you know, to adapt. So
to adapt to totally. And there's so much about the technology that I didn't even know before all this, and now I do.
Yeah, still learning.
And also, what's so special too, and is that like I did a Q&A yesterday, and I sang for the kids at the end, and there's so often that when we perform as performers, we don't get to see the audience. We don't get to connect with them and see how we are affecting them and how we are making a change. And yesterday I was singing and I got to look into the eyes of these kids that I was speaking to for an hour, and they were it affected me so deeply because they were so affected, and like watching these like little boys and girls like wiping tears from their face and like being so grateful for a performance opportunity and connecting like closer it's just really special. And I didn't think I was pessimistic at first when all this and I didn't know that we could connect, you know, through technology this way. And so it's I'm grateful for it, and I'm still learning but it's really cool. It's been really special.
That's awesome.
I think that's awesome. Yeah. I mean, you know, I think we're all kind of feeling that way. And it does allow the talent to really engage with the audience more than ever before. So I think that's actually a really cool, positive side to things. And Carline, when you're doing your events and you're seeing people's reactions and they're reacting with each other from different locations, are you kind of seeing the same thing?
Yeah, absolutely. It's people didn't know how, you know, this whole thing works and if it was ever possible, or, you know, so like I said in the beginning, just educating people that this is possible, we can still connect. And just, you know, I know in the beginning, the very beginning, when people were getting on these calls and, you know, interacting with each other, just to see like, oh my God, I can see you because I haven't seen you in 2 weeks, or I didn't know we could. Yeah, like, you know, you know, so it was just very cool, like, you know, and it was very gratifying just to know that we can bring that to people, especially during a time that they, you know, everyone needed it. Everyone really needed. I think now we're all zoomed out. I know I am, but
right.
But it's just like, you know, but it was very, very, you know, it was very cool just to know that the average person didn't know that this could be possible, and it was. Right. And I think it's, you know, it's such an amazing platform and so much can be done with it that, you know, it's great. It was great to have it during this time very much. So.
Yeah. And I love what Broadway Plus is doing, Nathaniel, and working with the Broadway stars and having this as another offering, even for my business. Like it's such, you know, you're always constantly thinking of what's next. I need another idea. idea. And my clients are now at the point where, as you just said, everybody's starting to get a little zoomed out. And also the focus is how do they entertain their families? So, you know, we have clients that are home working. They're also homeschooling the kids. So they're really looking for something as a family to do, whether it's cooking or whatever we're doing. But I recently, you know, of course, added this to my repertoire because having a sing-along for kids and the families is solving a lot of, you know, the current dilemmas that are going on for people. So I love that you guys are doing this. And Caroline, I hope to work with you because I really want to hear you sing.
She's amazing. Amazing.
Yeah.
I love every opportunity to sing nowadays. So.
Oh, I know. Well, we all hope Broadway is back sooner than February. You never know. Maybe that will change, and, you know, maybe everything will change for the better soon. We can all hope. And just, you know, I think I said this earlier, but I really want to emphasize it again that I think, as Caroline said, it's a nice time to really look within and kind of see, you know, humanity again. I think we're just missing humanity, and to really just listen to one another a little bit more than maybe we were before. But I just want to thank you all for joining today. I'm just so grateful for all of you and sharing ideas, and just really like, we're all kind of paying it forward and trying to help everyone in our industries. And I think that that's just super important. And I encourage us to all just continue to do that. So thank you again for today.
Thank you for having me. Thank you so much for having me. Nice meeting both of you, Nathaniel and Caroline. I would love to connect with you guys afterwards.
Yeah, I'll set up a note for all of us.
Yeah, and Alicia, I really love what you're doing. And please, congratulations and keep it up.
You too.
I think we're all inspiring each other to do more right now.
Yeah,
so
that's the key. It's
all
key,
good.
Right? So Nathaniel, it's great to see you. Carline and Caroline, I hope to see you all again soon.
You too.
Have a great weekend, guys.
Much love. Bye.
Bye.